Dandavas Pranam Maharaj.
Vivo. Ananda ji.
Haribol.
Oh, Haribo. Hare Krishna, everyone.
Hare Krishna, Didi Prabhu.
Devaki Didi, Hare Krishna.
How are you, Maharaj?
I'm good, Prabhu. By your grace, by the grace of all the Vaishnavas.
Hey, Gurudev.
Everyone well? Everyone well there?
Yes, Maharaj. Thank you for grace, the Guru and Vaishnavas. All fine here.
Having a lot of heat in Spain. Very hot weather.
Ah, yes, Maharaj. Sí.
Mucho caliente, huh?
Muy caliente. But the technology come to hell. I conditioned cool in this moment. For technology.
Yes. And how have you been, Devahuti Didi? Been well?
Thank you very much.
Very good.
Actually, now there is semester holiday, exam duties, that's all. So a little relieved from the work.
Okay, good.
Srila Nikama Chanta Maharaj come today or no?
Who? Oh, I don't know. He was asking, where does the Panchatattva Mahamantra come from? Who originally said that mantra? You know?
No, Maharaj, I know. I don't know.
What you said.
Where?
Could not follow what you said, Maharaj.
Huh?
She was asking to repeat.
Where the Mahamantra, Panchatattva Mahamantra, is stated first expressed. Not found in that way in the Chaitanya Charitamrita. Slightly different words are used in the Chaitanya Charitamrita. But those exact words, we're wondering who first said that. I was reading somewhere, maybe Jagannath Das Babaji first told those words. Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda, Sri Advaita Gadadhar, Sri Vas Adipur Bhaktivinda. We call that the Panchatattva Mahamantra.
Maharaj, this is actually Purushottama mantra. This Adhika Masa is called as Purushottama. So, any special thing that is extra thing you are doing, Maharaj? Because for me, I just went through all the internet and then doing so many things like that. I'm reading Bhagavad Gita, Srimad Bhagavatam, 10th canto, 14th chapter, and telling the shlokas and so many things. Anything particular you would highlight it that We should do it in this month.
Shloka. Yes, whatever you do, that will count more to your spiritual life than any other month. It's like Kartik, huh? When you do something in Purushottam Mas, then whatever you do, that will be more benefit, spiritual benefit than any other time. So what can we do? The most important thing we can do, I think, is chanting the holy names. Huh? Chanting the holy names. Harinam, Sankirtan. Do you do Sankirtan? Do you? Well, or Sankirtan ever? No. Harinam, Harinam, Harinam Eva Keval. Most important practice. Thing is to fix our mind. Krishna consciousness. Mind is always becoming diverted. Diverted from Krishna. That's the problem. That's why. The mind can be fixed in Krishna. Devi Kinja.
Jai.
Maharaj.
Dandavat pranam Teja.
Most important thing is to fix our mind in Krishna. Then you can always be dancing with Krishna. Krishna is always dancing with you. Well, remember Krishna. Surrender to Krishna. These are the main things. And that is most intensely realized by surrender to Guru and service to Guru. So whatever we can do, we have to do that in relation to Guru Dev. As the highest servitor of Krishna, we want to serve Guru Dev in his service to the Supreme Lord. The process is perfect. We don't practice it. That's what. The process is perfect. We're going to read today from Prapanna-jivanamrtam, the central verse of the psalm of the whole book. First we'll do a Vandana prayers. Vandeham
Sri Guru
Advaitam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Sri Radha Krishna Padam Manalalita Kanvitam Cha
Om Jnana
Jnanatinirandasya Jnananjana Salakaya Chakshurmilitam Shri Gurave Namaha Shri Guru Vargavan Vandita Mahabhavanitaya Sada Purva Parya Parampara Vitalita Prajna Maranjarasya Samitam Samragam Sadaram Vande Sri Gurudevam Anantasya Varam Nijam Purvavishtasapratam Guru Ganera Krishna Samvositam Sita Sita Samasta Veda Nipunam Sri Purva Paritambaram Govindam Dharmavantam Chandika Sundaram Vande Vishwagurum Cha Divya Bhagavat Parimanam Vijapratam Devantiyatanam Shandavidan Narakacharanachittam Sarananda Param Vairagya Vidya Buddhim Sri Siddhanta-nidhim Namaste Vasitam Saraswatim Varam Advaitam Swarutam Eka Charanam Nyayam Sridharam Siddhanta Saraswati Vidito Navajaduranyave Bhato Manadvaya Prabhata Tanayo Gaura Sankirtanaya Maharaja Vindalotara Taraka Jivanam
Krishna
Prema Sukana Sutam Bhaje Namo Gaura Kisoraya Vidotamurte Arti Padmapindaya Bhavani Sevane Vande Bhakti Nodam Sri Gaura Shakti Sarupakam Bhakti Shastrajna Samrajnam Radha Rasa Sudhanidhin Gaura Diktesya Vaishnave Vande Vigraham Jagannatha Prabhu Vande Madhvati Buddha Vishnu Kalpataruvyavachya Vasitruvayevacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Sattvamukham Krishnam Bhaktarupa Sarupakam Bhaktavattam Bhaktam
Namami
Namami
Bhatya Shaktikam
Krishna Prema Pradayate Krishnaya Krishna Chaitanya Namne Gaurati Namaha Jetam Srato Tirgati Sarvasva Padambuja Radha Vrindavan Brahmadaya Srimad Ratnakar Simhasanasatu Gandharva Srila Govinda Devo Sripad Srami
Sriman
Iman Rasar
Rasambi
Sambai Om
Sivata
Sivata
Stita Sameno Swami
Satsangeno
Gopi
Swami
Gopina
Gopinataya Sri Sunaha Nandaye Tulsi Devaya Priyaye Kesavachita Krishna Bhakti Pade Devi Satyavati Namo Namaha Pranatva Mantra Gurun Guru Vayavatada Vyasa Jagat Guru Nato
Jai
Jayata Pavitra Puranda Gandharva Govinda Sundar Pada Padma Namaste
Krishna.
Krishna
Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadara Sivasadi Gauravataranda Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare
Jai Srila Prabhupada, Srila Guru Maharaj, Guru Dev, Srila Acharya Dev, Srila Santa Maharaj, Ki Jai.
Jai
Jai Srila Giri Govardhan, Ki Jai.
Jai
Jai Samaveda Bhakti Ki Jai. All right. Glory to the Son. Lord Premanandi.
Jai Vishnupad Paramahamsa Sripad Bhakti Madhava Puri Maharaj ki jai.
Jai
Jai Ranga Puri Prabhu Ki Jai.
Jai.
Reading from the second chapter, Sri Prapanna-jivanamrtam, Bhakti Yoga, Dev-Goswami Maharaj. Jayo Vishnupad, Paramahamsa Pad, Madhava, Asnatana Sata Sri Sripad, Bhakti Yoga, Dev-Goswami Maharaj, Ki Jai.
Jai.
Sri Prapanna-jivanamrtam, Ki Jai.
Jai
Chapter 2, this is on they were talking about the scriptural scriptural statements about Saranagati. So text 32, Srila Saranagati, Anukulya Vankalpa, Sankalpa, Partikulya Vivarjanam, Rakshashyat Rakshashyatiti Visvaso Goptipe Varanam Tata, Atmanikshepa Karpanye, Savita Saranagati of the Vaishnava, meaning 6 divisions of surrender. What we mean by surrender, the 6 limbs of surrender: acceptance of the favorable and rejection of the unfavorable, to devotional service. The faith that he will surely protect me, embracing the Lord's guardianship, complete dependence on him, and the perception of one's utter helplessness without him. These 6 are the essential limbs of exclusive surrender to the Lord. Anukulya Sankalpa and Partikulya Vivarjana. If one has surrendered soul, he accepts what is favorable to devotional service and rejects what is unfavorable for that service. What helps him remember Krishna and what distracts from remembering Krishna, these two things are kept in mind. Rakshak Vishwasa. Rakshak means protector. Huh? That word, Rakshak. That's protector, guardian. So accepting the Lord's guardianship, that He will protect me. Accepting the Lord's protection. That's one thing. And then Goptute Varnam. Goptute Varnam is considered the central principle of Sharanagati. Goptute Varnam means accepting the Lord's guardianship. That is the idea of surrender to Guru. Guru is our guardian. And the Lord, in the form of Guru, the Lord comes to guide us, to guard us, and to guide us in the process of coming back to Him. They're necessary. Of all these different steps, limbs of surrender, this is the most central. This represents to the highest degree what we mean by surrender. Because one must give over their whole mind, body, mind, and soul to Gurudev. When Govinda Maharaj came to Srila Maharaj, Bhakti Sundar Govind Dev-Goswami Maharaj came to Bhakti Sundar Rakshak Dev-Goswami Maharaj. Sridhara Maharaj asked Govinda Maharaj, can you give up your mind? Allow me to, whatever I say, you follow that, and don't follow your own mind. Govinda Maharaj was a little reluctant. He said, what do you mean, Dhyana? If my mind tells me to do something good, I should not do that. Sridhara said, yes. You don't follow your mind anymore. You have to follow what I say. That's Sharanagati. That's surrender to Guru. Prabhupada used to give the example of a stick on the road. And this Guru would say, that's a stick, that's a stick, pick it up. And the disciple would go pick up the stick. And the Guru would say, no, it's a snake, put it down. And the disciple would have to put it down. Then Guru would say again, don't pick it up, it's a stick. And like this. The disciple would pick it up. He did not question, Gurudev, but you told it was a snake. No, don't question it. Well, just to do what Gurudev says, that is surrender. Like that. No more independent thinking. It's training the mind. This is the training that is needed in Bhakti Yoga. So embracing the Lord's guardianship. This is the central principle of. And then Atma Nikshepana. Atma Nikshepa Karpanye. That complete dependence. Atma Nikshepa Karpanye. Means to completely depend on Krishna for the result of any activity. Krishna says in the Gita, you can do your work, but the result comes. Don't worry about the result. I will provide. The result is for me. People in this world, they work. They're always doing something, some activity, some speculation for some result. By thinking, by working, they want to get some result. That's called karma and jnana. Looking for the result of your activities That is karma, or that is jnana also. You want something out of it. There's the problem. You want something out of it. Gita, Krishna, Veda, they're telling us, no, you are not to get the result. Things are not for you. This world is not for you, and not about you. It's not about you. It's about Krishna. Everything is about Krishna. Krishna says, I am to be known. Vedaisya sarva mahameva Veda. I am to be known by all these Vedas, all these rituals, all the procedures, varnashram dharma, whatever it may be, it is to know me. And you are to fix your mind upon me and come back to me. Have your loving relationship with me. And this world activities that you are engaged in, they're all diversions. Diversions for those who are envious of me, who do not recognize me, who do not want to enjoy their eternal happiness with me. That's what all that is for. Not for you, my devotee. My dear devotee, you are not to be diverted by those things. That is the work of my Maya, my deluding potency. So all these things are given here by the devotees, Vaishnava Tantra. The Vaishnavas have told. These 6 principles must be followed. Krishna says, Atman Kshepa Karpadve. Devotees are telling us. Utter helplessness. We must feel that I cannot do anything on my own. Like a man drowning in the ocean. What are you going to do? If you are drowning in the ocean, then what are you going to help yourself? You're drowning. Right? There's only water around you. No, not even a log. Just water. And fish are attacking you. And then what are you going to do? Simply you will drown, no? Only thing left to do. Only way to get out of your helpless situation is to drown. Unless only one possibility, someone comes to help. Someone else who's outside the water, who's already out of the water, they can help you. I'm just saying. With that feeling of complete helplessness, like a man drowning in the ocean, that must be there if we are to understand Sharanagati. These are the 6 central limbs of exclusive surrender. You cannot surrender to Krishna without the central principle here being followed. The central principle is accepting the guardianship of the Lord. It means accepting Gurudev. You can think, well, I can surrender on my own. I'm thinking that I can think that Krishna is my guardian. What does that mean when you say, I'll think that Krishna is my guardian? What does that mean? It means that I'll follow my own mind. Whatever my mind tells me, I'll do that. That's what acting without Gurudev means. You have given yourself the position of Guru. Your mind has a position of Guru. and you're following that. What kind of surrender is that? They're Maya also. Right, Haribol.
Haribol, good to
What a
see
pleasure.
everyone.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Pranam, Didi. Haribo. I'm happy to see you.
Oh, I'm happy to see you as well.
Hey, Gurudev.
You made everyone happy, you see.
Aw, then that made my day. Thank you.
So we're explaining Prapanna-jivanamrtam, this what is surrender? The 6 limbs, they call it 6 limbs of surrender, explained in this verse that we're reading. To accept what is favorable for devotion, reject what is unfavorable, and the faith that the Lord will protect me. All right, when Srila Prabhupada came to the United States the first time, he was trying very hard to get here. It was difficult because he had no money. He had like 7 rupees or something like that. And he was trying to come to the US. And how could he get here? Anyhow, somehow or other, they arranged for a place on a boat. It was a transport boat, a barge of some type. Then Prabhupada came on that barge, and it wasn't a real passenger ship. It wasn't one of these fancy ships, you know. And just transporting goods. The Prabhupada got a place in one of the cabins of the captain and the men. The captain of the men stay. He got one of those rooms. He came on that boat. And he wasn't old man, huh? Something like 77 years old. Something like that. No, maybe 60. Anyhow, an older person. And he got on that boat, had no money in his pocket. He brought some of his books, some copies of the Bhagavatam that he had published in India, and the Bhagavad Gita, his Bhagavad Gita, and then he came. And on the boat, he was praying to his good spiritual master. He was praying to Krishna. Dear Lord, I'm just like a puppet. I'm following your command, the command of my Gurudev to come and preach to the English-speaking people. I was following his command blindly. I don't know. I may live, I may die. That's up to you. If you want to protect me, that is your will. If you want to kill me, that is your will. I accept either case. If I am coming on this journey and I will die, so be it. If I make it to the other side, then I will also be happy. Like this. And on the way, he had 2 attacks, heart attack. How could it be all bad? Having this heart attack and everything, coming on the rough sea. Because it's a large journey, great journey, and not a very comfortable position. Anyhow, somehow he came, somehow he made it. So this kind of thing, trusting in the Lord's protection. What is that, Bengali? Hare Krishna Rakshana. Rakshak Krishna Marina. You know the meaning of that? If Krishna wants to kill me, nobody can protect me. And if Krishna wants to protect me, nobody can kill me. That was his mentality. Protection. Sometimes we say devotees should not pray to the Lord for protection because you're asking for something. You're asking for something for yourself. Devotees don't like to ask Krishna for anything. But it's not really asking. It's stating what is the fact. If Krishna wants to protect me, he can. And no one can kill me. And if Krishna wants to kill me, then nobody can. Something like that. But just acknowledging what is our actual condition, what is our relationship with Krishna. Well, yes, we don't really ask for protection. But if Krishna wants to protect, then we know we're safe. We don't have to worry about that part. Because Krishna is there and I'm acting, I'm living on behalf of Krishna's will to carry out his instructions. And whether I die in that activity or I'm saved in that activity, it doesn't really matter as long as I'm engaged in that activity of serving the Lord. Nobody doesn't feel about fear, doesn't feel any fear from death. It's another consideration entirely outside of the realm of devotion. Fear. Prabhupada's name was Abhay Charan. You know the meaning of Abhay? Abhaya means fear. Abhaya means fearless. Charan, the lotus feet. Abhaya Charan. Fearless at the feet of the Lord. Was Prabhupada's first name. Abhaya Charan Day. Fearless at the feet of the Lord, that was Prabhupada. And that is the symptom of a devotee. No fear of death. No fear of life, no fear of death. Whatever Krishna wants, that is perfect. I'm here to fulfill Krishna's wish. Living or dying, whatever. It's his wish. A very important branch or limb of the surrendered soul that Krishna will protect. Doesn't have to pray for that. He understands that it's Krishna's nature to protect his devotees. The devotees can rely on him for that. And then the guardianship, like I said, guidance. The guidance in our life. Where do we go? What do we do? Why do we do all these things? That's coming from direction of Gurudev, of Shastra, of Sadhu. Then we can understand. We don't have to rely on others who also are lost in this world. What to do? Take their advice. They themselves don't know how to save themselves. What kind of advice they're going to give? If you are lost in the forest, sometimes you don't know which way to go. Everywhere you look, there are trees. All looks the same. And if you find someone else who's lost in the forest, and you ask them, how do I get out? Oh, go this way, go this way, go this. You follow them and you don't get out either. Because they don't know. So everyone is lost in the forest of material complexity. Unless you can find someone who knows their way through the forest, then you follow them, then you can get out. Very simple. Otherwise, if you are lost and you're asking other people who are lost, what is the benefit? You remain wandering. So guardianship, guidance, is very important. We want to make progress in life, progress in spiritual life, even in material life. Why do we have so many educational institutions? Why is education considered so important? If everybody can figure things out on their own, why go to school? Why have school? No, that's ridiculous, not rational. Some people know they're experts or whatever, and we can learn from them. But we're ready to accept that readily in material life, that we need some guidance from those who know more than we do. Everybody accepts that. Otherwise, there would be no school system. There would be no education system. But in spiritual life, everyone thinks, oh, I know what to do. I already understand about God, or whether there is God or not God, or what I have to do in my life. I don't need any guidance. Philosopher Hegel used to say, in religion and philosophy, the only qualification people think they need is their birth certificate. You've been born, then I could do philosophy, I could do religion, I could speak like these other people, or the real philosophy, the real theologians. I've studied these things for their whole life. They are worthy to listen to as I myself, whatever I espouse about religion and philosophy. That's as good as whatever any expert is. I don't need to listen. I can decide for myself what I want to think, what kind of metaphysics I want to have, what kind of assumptions or presumptions I want to make. I don't need somebody else to tell me this. These two fields, religion and philosophy, they don't require any kind of qualification to do. You got a mouth, you got a tongue, you could wag it in any way and give your philosophy and your religion according to what your tongue says. That's what's going on today. In science, logic, reasoning, they have certain rules. Certain things are required in the name of the absolute. Absolute is just not some figment of the imagination. The absolute is the really real, the truth. But that is not to be treated lightly. That also has a way to approach, proper way to approach. And we have to listen and try to understand what is that. Not that we can say, truth is what I think it is. Everyone has their own truth. I don't have to have an absolute truth to which I must direct myself. Whatever truth I accept, that's fine. That is truth for me. I like that. In the whole of scripture, religion, everything, all of these things are discarded in such a mentality, as is happening today. And what is the result? Everyone becomes atheists. They become consumers. Consumer means exploitation. They're all exploiting the resources of nature for their own benefit. Whole idea of God, of that higher truth that we must submit to. Truth is not something you have to construct in your brain. and not a matter of constructing the truth. The truth is there, then you must submit to it, must accept it. That is what we mean by truth. Even giving your interpretation of it, that is also not true, not a proper way to approach truth. But people do have some improper understanding of what is truth and what is the relationship to that. So, therefore, Guru Dev is necessary. Cut through all the illusion, all the misunderstanding. That this world is polluted by at every level. At every level. And both the Dev-Goswami, the central tenet, let's say, central principle of surrender, to accept, surrender to Guru Dev. There, surrender, there we can find what it means to relate to another mind, not only to your own mind, to be obedient. The Acharyas tell us, you want to be free? You need to become a slave. Slavery will lead to freedom. Huh? Hegel put it in the words, die to live. You must die if you want to live. Die means you give up your freedom, so-called freedom. If there is a truth and you don't submit to it, then what are you living in? What is your type? What kind of mentality do you have? You are thinking it's truth. You think you're living in the truth. But because the truth is something other than what you say it is, and you're living in illusion, you're missing out on the whole thing. Die to live. The Bhagavad Gita clearly says there is truth and there is illusion. There is Maya. We must counter that. Only truth can dissolve Maya. Maya created Prakriti. As Maya illusory energy, Krishna says. If you want to get rid of that, then you have to come to Krishna. And he can make the arrangement. Maya means not that. Ya. Two words. Ma and ya. Ma means not. And ya means that. That means spirit. And ya, Krishna. There's Krishna and there's not Krishna. Maya. Once we accept Krishna, then we're accepting accept Maya. So Sharanagati is meant to overcome that duality, overcome that problem. We have to practice and study this carefully in order to understand these things. Next verse, 33. Sachakaya mano vakyai vadya asadya devasmiti vadanyucha tataiva vanapsa vinam tatsthanam ashritastadva modate sharanagata. The Vaishnava Tantra. Sharanagati should be practiced in thought, word, and deed. Not enough just to think about it. Deed means it must be done also. So by his power of speech, The surrendered soul declares, I am yours. In his thoughts, he knows the same. And in person, he takes refuge in the Lord's holy abode. This way, the surrendered soul passes his life, his heart filled with joy. So it's not enough to say, yes, I understand. I understand that we must surrender. I understand that there is God, and my relationship with God is that I am the surrendered servant of the Lord. No other role to play, no other business. But this must not only be in mind, we must put it into practice. That's why the Vaishnava tradition, Vaishnava gurus have said, we must take shelter of Gurudev. Put your life up, right? Put your life where your mind is, where your words are. Don't just say it with your words. Just don't think it with your mind. Actually do it with your whole life. That is genuine Atma-nivedana. That is genuinely giving your whole self, body, mind, and words. When a Vaishnava takes sannyas, he receives a tridandi, a danda with 3 points. Mayavadis only have 1 point, Brahman. But the Vaishnavas have 3 points. Vaishnava sannyasi, he gives his body, his mind, and his words to Krishna. Dedicates all 3. Body, mind, and words. He sacrifice whole entire self in the service of Krishna, the glorification of the Lord. The pleasure of Krishna. Body, mind, and words. Kaya mano vakyaya sabya. Kaya means words, mano, mind, vakya. So, sorry. Kaya, body, mano, vakyaya, and words. So, kaya mano vakyaya. Body, mind, and words. Huh? Jai Srila Bhakti Yoga Santa Maharaja ki jai.
Jai Vishnu Srila Bhakti Madhava Maharaj ki all devotees.
Yeah.
Dandavad.
Dandavad Pranam Maharaj.
We're talking about how a sannyasi surrenders body, mind, and words to Krishna, and then you show up. An exemplar. Maharaja has given his whole life to the service of Krishna.
Maharaj, today one devotee, he asked me a question. Some Sahajiyas from Nityananda's family, they are asking this question: from where did we got this Panchatattva mantra? What is the reference? Because generally it is being asked to Sahajiyas from where they got their these mantras, Nitai Gaur Radhesyam Hare Krishna Hare Rama and something like that. So I try to look for the references of this, and I could not find anything before the books that are published by Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswat. Then I tried to contact some of the devotees, Gaudiya devotees, what they have to say about that. And the one Jitendra Maharaj is from Srila Bhakti Madhava Maharaj Math. He has told that this is not a mantra actually, Panchatattva mantra. This is just a joy. Like we give the joy of all acharyas. So it is like a joy. And it is a kirtan. Bharati Maharaja, one of the Santama disciples, he told. And also this is a kirtan. Kirtan and joy, we can say it is not a mantra. They say like
Mangala-archana.
yes.
Anyhow, I looked it up on the internet also.
Yes.
And on Mahandidi Swami of ISKCON, he told the
Yes.
king of Jagannath Das Babaji.
The Tirtha Maharaj also was telling like that.
Who?
It came from Jagannath Das Babaji. Tirtha Maharaj, our Tirtha Maharaj. He said that it came from Jagannath Das Maharaj, but I don't know. I have not found any book which Bhakti Vinod Thakur has written that has this, Panchatattva mentioned.
That was interesting.
Yes.
He said it came from him. And of course, there's the Chaitanya Charitamrita, and it does say something close to that.
Yes. The sequence is little different actually there.
Well, there are several quotes in the Chaitanya Charitamrita. Bhaktavatar, Bhaktakyam, I don't remember the exact word now. They represent the different members of the Panchatattva. And then there was one verse, Chaitanya Charitamrita, Adi Leela, 7th chapter, verse 169. I don't have it here, but you can look it up. And it's also mentions Chaitanya, Nityananda, and Advaita are the three main figures of the Panchatattva. And then there's Gadadhar and Sripad and the other members and the devotees of it. Mentioned that in the Chaitanya Charitamrita. And other places.
These people who are asking this question, they are, I think, the followers of Lalit Prasad, who is the brother of Saraswati Thakur, and they become offensive to Saraswati Thakur because he was telling about, the Siksha Sampradaya, and they are too much emphasis giving to Diksha Sampradaya, and thus, they are offensive towards him. Saraswati Thakur also written, they call that Bhakti Thakur is the father of Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur, but they don't accept him as his guru. These people, these Sahajas.
Yes, Bhakti Siddhanta, I think, told that to his brother. The difference between you and me is that you accept Bhakti Vinod as your father, I accept him as my guru.
He wrote a book also, Baba Badha Radha. Father, the obstacle, because you are seeing as father, and I see him as Radha, means the guru.
What is that verse we sing from Madhava? Bhaktavatar, Bhaktakyam, Bhakti Bhakti Shakti-Kam.
The verse you said from Chaitanya Charitamrita is here. It's Panchatattvam Makam Krishnam Bhakta Rupa Svarupakam Bhaktavataram Bhaktakyam Namami Bhakta Shaktikam. Let me offer my obeisances unto Lord Sri Krishna, who has manifested himself in 5 as a devotee, expansion of a devotee, incarnation of a devotee, and pure devotee and devotional energy.
There, given in the right order, huh?
Without using their names, using their position.
Bhaktavatar. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. What's the next one?
Bhakta Rupa, Svarupakam, Bhaktavataram, Bhakta Kyam, Namami Bhakta Shaktikam.
The avatar is Advaita Acharya.
In the transliteration, it says Bhakta Rupa, the form of a devotee, Svarupa Kam, the expansion of a devotee, Bhakta Avataram, in the incarnation of a devotee.
So there's the three.
Uh.
Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Nityananda Prabhu, and Advaita Acharya. And then comes
Bhakta Kyam.
and then after that.
Bhakta Kyam is known as a devotee. And that
Jagad Pandit.
this last two. This is the last two. One category for the last two. Here, at least.
It is Radharani, Jagad Pandit, then Shivas, then devotees. Shivas and devotees are the same. Bhakta Shaktikam. What is the meaning of Bhaktaksham? What they say? Bhaktaksham?
Known as a devotee.
No name.
No, expansion is Bhakta Svarupakam.
Sorry, I'm not sure about that.
It's expansion.
Sometimes, it is being told this Panchatattva mantra. So, but if we say it is a mantra, then it is, little different because it is like from, a particular scripture, the mantra is taken, like Maha Mantra is taken from Kalisanta Upanishad. So, this is like, we can say, it seems to be like Kirtan or joy. We cannot say it like a mantra.
In the other verse that Maharaj mentioned, Adi 7.169, it says Sri Chaitanya Nityananda Advaita Tina Jana Sri Vasa Gadadhar Adi Yata Bhakta Jana. While chanting the Panchatattva Maha Mantra, one must chant the names of Sri Chaitanya, Nityananda, Advaita, Gadadhar, and Srivas with their many devotees. This is the process.
What is the sequence?
The sequence is Mahaprabhu, then Advaita, it's Mahaprabhu, Nityananda Prabhu, Advaita, Acharya, and then Srivas and Gadadhar. So they change Srivas and Gadadhar, but otherwise it's the same.
No, in Sanskrit doesn't. That can't be taken as that order.
And it says a mantra there, Panchatattva mantra it says.
That's the English translation.
English translation, yeah. Anyway, these are small minor things, but they make it like, because so Saraswat Thakur and devotees are criticized their rasabhas. Nitai Gaur Adeshyam Hare Krishna Hare Ram. That is like mixing Sakkharas with Madhuras they are doing. So that they are just doing this type of thing. Another thing, these Sahajas, they ask that why every guru should have a pranam mantra. But I mean, previous acharyas, they have not Pranam mantra, but now why everybody have the Pranam mantra? Yes. What is the Pranam mantra Bhaktivinoda Thakur used to chant? Or what is the Pranam mantra Gaur Kishodas Babaji Maharaj used to chant? Or, this Jagannath Babaji Maharaj used to chant? They're asking like that. Is there any Pranam mantra system was there before, like that? I think all the acharyas may not have the Pranam mantras, but some prominent acharyas have the Pranam mantras. I mean, their followers later on also, I think Sridhar Maharaj and Govinda Maharaj has compiled some acharyas Pranam mantras, actually. Previous acharyas, Pranam mantras in the Guru Paramita.
The living tradition. Vaishnavism is living tradition, not based on some rules or regulations only. And too rigid, that loses, just like this idea that you can worship the historical Acharya, but there's no necessity for a present Acharya. If you worship the historical Acharya, like Prabhupada or Sridhara, that's enough. We don't need an Acharya now. Right? They want to kill spiritual life. Right? Ossified. They call ossified. You know what ossified means? Make it like a rock. Huh?
What is that called? Rasa.
Ossified. Not Rasa. Not Rasified. Ossified. Ossified make to rock. Like sometimes some plants from the old days, they become ossified. Or the fossils, they're ossified,
Yes.
ossified bones. So they want to ossify spiritual life also by telling you could worship the historical Acharya like the Christians do with Jesus Christ. That's enough. You don't need a present Guru, a living Guru. Then that's the people. The zombie spiritual life.
And also, Maharaj, I think these things, they also become like a superficial imitation, just a pranam mantra or, doing this and like that. But the spirit is behind that has not been captured, actually. I mean, the main thing is that we are trying to please Guru or, Vaishnava. That is the main thing, not just, we are chanting some mantra and then, we are not giving our heart there.
Afraid to live. They are afraid to live. Spiritual life is a living life. Those who put too much restrictions on living, they're afraid of life. The devotee is fearless because he has the Lord. No, the Lord is there. What is that word? Advaitam Achyutam Anadam Anantarupa. Adyam Paranam
Purusham
Navayovanam Navayovanam Cha. Navayovanam. It's ever living. It's alive. Navayogana.
Ever fresh, ever youthful.
Bhakta Ross, Haribol.
Haribol. Good prasada. Haribol.
Navayoganam cha, ever youthful. Like a tree, and not a dead, it looks like it's dead because it's sitting there, doesn't move. But it's constantly changing, constantly growing, constantly producing new leaves, everything new each day. It's producing itself over and over again. That's called, what is that?
Ever fresh.
That's,
Mitosis. Metabolism.
Metabolism. Metabolism is there. There are three things in metabolism. Anabolism, catabolism, and metabolism. Anabolism means it's building up. Catabolism means it's wearing out. Right? And metabolism is maintaining itself. So like that, the whole of nature is of that characteristic. It builds up, it tears down, and it maintains itself. Creation, annihilation, and maintenance. Brahma, Vishnu, Shiva. All of material world exhibits that quality. Then why the Supreme Lord, Supreme Absolute Truth should not have that quality? He knows. It's constantly renewing, constantly being renewed at experience. We can do that.
Actually, Maharaj, Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswat Thakur, he has brought many revolutionary way of, what you can say, worship of Lord in Gaudiya line, which
Yes.
many people, they don't understand, like Mahaprabhu Radha Krishna worship. It was not there before him.
Yes. Like we were talking about the Devahuti Didi, this month is Purushottam Mas. A very unusual thing. It doesn't follow the program properly. Next extra month. Krishna can do whatever he wants. You're not limited. So we are the ones who are lagging. We have to keep up. Don't fall into, what is that called? Antiquated thinking. You alert to his ever fresh pastimes. The variety. We believe in variety. The Absolute has variety in it. Mayavadis think it's all one. They can't accept variety. But we embrace variety. Variety is the spice of life. But we never forget Krishna, that's all. It is his variety, his mercy is coming to us in many ways. And we have to be ready to accept that, however it may show itself.
Earlier, I had to look at thing from Jiva Goswami.
Yes,
So in the whole of Gaudiya Vaishnavism, the message that Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was preaching didn't explicitly mesh with Vedanta as such. So like Jiva Goswami had to, do that work of showing how the Bhagavat, how Chaitanya Vaishnavism meshed with Vedanta as it was understood. So in the same way, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's whole preaching is brand new. And now they're saying what Saraswat, Srila Shanta Maharaj saying, what Saraswati Thakur was showing was brand new even within the Gaudiya Sampradaya. But the Gaudiya Sampradaya itself was brand new in the whole Vedantic tradition. So it's just following the pattern.
Actually, Maharaj, Sridhara Maharaj, that Kirtan is there, which Govinda Maharaj compiled. He says that Ekatattva Varnanati Nitya Nava Bhava means to explain one Siddhanta, always Sridhara Maharaj bringing some new light in there. So, not that the same thing is given by all acharyas which are coming. It's like, as you told, it's a living thing. Means something, fresh light is coming always in that.
Yes, what Mahaprabhu himself is a revolutionary. Came to teach Radha Dasya, Krishna Prem. After Krishna and the Bhagavad Gita settled everything, it says, Sarvanarmam Purityaja, Mamekam Sharanam. Then Mahaprabhu came and said, well, what is that Sharanam? And he taught how we can live a life of surrender. Otherwise, before that, there was no information about those things. Not widespread. And chanting of the holy name, of course, that was always done, but Mahaprabhu told that in this Kali Yuga, he emphasized that point. That just by chanting the holy name, he showed by his own example what is there in the scriptures. So Hegel said the nature of spirit is that it's always revealing itself. Nature of spirit is to reveal itself. It reveals itself to itself. Krishna knows his own self and his own revelation of himself. The revelation of himself to others is his revealing of his own self to himself, making it objective to himself. The spirit has this quality of manifesting itself, and it's infinite. So there's an infinite possibilities of differences to come from the infinite. It's not restricted to one thing only. And how is it infinite? Okay. I think we better stop now and go a little overtime. I don't like to take everyone's time. They're so kind to join us. I like to respect your own schedules. They're so merciful to us. My Dandavats Maharaj, my Dandavats to all the devotees.
Dandavat Maharaj.
Dandavats.
Srila Bhakti Puri Maharaj.
Bye.
Hare Krishna.
Shanta Maharaj.
Hare Krishna.
Oh,
Hare
Hare Bol.
Hare Bol.